All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. We made it. It is Friday, July 26, 2024. This is episode 673 of Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I am your host, Dr. Gerald Auger, coming in hot with the coffee on this Friday morning. And we are all going to be collectively shredding the top cybersecurity news stories of the day. And I'll be giving my expert opinion and analysis on each of those stories on what it means to you as a practitioner. So how can you use this information to drive cyber risk reduction for your business stakeholders? Or if you're looking to break into the industry, you're going to be asked in any job interview, how do you stay current? Right here is a phenomenal mic dropping type answer. Good morning to everybody. I want you to know I don't prep or research for any of these stories. So you're getting my rough, rugged, raw, authentic opinion on these stories. I got 20 years of experience. I got a lot of opinions, occasionally a speculative hot take. Good morning, Kimberly from the Lanai, aka Sophia. Maybe we'll see her on the panel jaw-jacking at the end of the show today. Stay tuned for that. It is Friday, which means it's Grayson's Joke of the Week presented by James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. So stay tuned for the mid-roll for a little rib ticklers, if you will, little knee slappers, little gut busters. It's all about good times here. Cybersecurity, community, and good times. That's what we're about. Now, before we get into it, I do want to remind everybody and give a shout out and thanks to the stream sponsors, those businesses that we partner with, that we absolutely love and we support. James McQuiggan with a super chat, $6.73 for episode 673. Coming in hot with my new Simply Cyber coffee mug. Happy Friday. Hashtag Team SC. Cheers for 673. Smash that like button.
We just become best friends. Yep.
Thank you, James McQuiggan. I saw that mug. I'll leave it to you to reveal it to the community at a time you see fit. But what? Hold on. Shruti CH. Hi, Jerry. Did the masterclass. Got a GRC job. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about right there. I can't promise a job, but I'm telling you, it does all the things that employers are looking for. Someone asked me the other day, they're like, what cert does this map to? I'm like, there's no cert that maps to like practical skills. Congratulations, Shruti CH. I'm super happy for you. And good luck crushing it. Or not good luck, best wishes crushing it on your new GRC role. Barricade Cyber Solutions, y'all. They're dedicated to helping businesses from cyber attacks and recover from the damage done. Cyber attacks can cause massive issues for businesses and send dedicated, hardworking business owners into turmoil. But guess what? Barricade Cyber Solutions knows how to mitigate the damage done by cyber incidents. They know how to eradicate threat actors. They know how to negotiate with them. Check them out at barricadecyber.com. Link in the description below. You definitely want to bookmark it. In case, trust me, the day you need Barricade Cyber Solutions is not the day you want to be like, what was that address? You want to be able to bust the glass. George Strasberger coming in with a super chat.
We just become best friends.
Just because the UMass parties were epic in the 90s, what's a barista's favorite exercise at the gym? The French press. Oh, yeah. There we go. French press in the house. Nice, George Strasberger. Thank you. Also, George Strasberger is 100% right. UMass used to be called ZooMass, all right? And it was ludicrous what was going on in there. Not that I know anything about that. Also want to say shout out and love to Antisyphon Training. Guys, you know Antisyphon Training. Zach Hill, Kathy Chambers, the whole team over at Black Hills. Antisyphon Training, they're disrupting in a way that is unlike anyone else the traditional cybersecurity training industry by providing high-quality, cutting-edge education to everyone, regardless of financial position. They offer their students the opportunity to practice skills that are in demand, learn from like industry practitioners like, I don't know, John Strand. If you don't know John Strand, the guy's so legend that he's got his own emote in the squad tray, that guy right there. Antisyphon Training also recently announced that Tim Medine will be doing Antisyphon Training. If you don't know who Tim Medine is, that's okay. I'm sure you're familiar with the term Kerber roasting. Tim Medine invented that, okay? So they've got really, really high-end top talent doing their instructions. And some of their classes, including the ones with John Strand, you can take for $0. I know it sounds like we're eating crazy pills in here, but you literally can get high-end training for zero or very, very low fees. It's awesome. Check it out, antisyphontraining.com. Links in the description below. All right, guys, every episode like this one, 673 is worth half a CP. Say what's up in chat. Grab a screenshot, hashtag Team SC if you're a regular, because you would be a hashtag Team SC community member if you're here. Hopefully Sarah comes in. We got Sarah's post yesterday. And with the Simply Cyber Community Challenge, all about good times. Guys, do me a favor. Woo! Settle in. Let's get cozy. We're about to get into the news, but just to kind of prime everybody, if today is your first episode, if 673 is your first episode, if you're like, holy crap, I don't know if I like this, or if this is insanity, what's going on this podcast, do me a favor. Drop a hashtag first timer in chat. Hashtag first timer in chat. We love welcoming our first timers. We have a special sound effect. We have a special emote. Don't be shy, first timers. And if you're one of the 10 members who just became squad members, like Darius Cater, Groova Martin, Quiet Gamer, Adam Hartz, etc.,
Did we just become best friends?
Yep.
shout out and thanks to James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. James McQuiggan just sponsoring 10 new squad members in chat. Welcome to the party, pal. Great to have you guys, as always. All right, you first timers and long timers, do me a favor. Sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over all of us in an awesome wave. I will see you all at the mid-roll.
From the CISO series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Friday, July 26th, 2024. I'm Steve Prentice. Hackers exploiting Microsoft Defender smartscreen bug. Researchers at Fortinet FortiGuard Labs have observed a new campaign that exploits an Internet Shortcut Files security feature bypass vulnerability that we have reported on a number of times over the years. This vulnerability enables the threat actors to spread the information stealer malware versions ACR Stealer, Luma, Lumma, and Medusa, Meduza. Microsoft released patches for this flaw back in Patch Tuesday of February of this year, but attacks have been noted in Spain, Thailand, and the US. IT leaders note increase in severity of cyber attacks, and ransomware and business email compromise stand out.
Hold on, my Stream Deck. Sorry, guys. My Stream Deck is not... I had to reboot my computer right before the stream started because for some unknown reason, my displays went off and they wouldn't turn back on. So just grant me grace. I got to get this so I can do the audio on and off here.
Flaw back in Patch Tuesday of February of this year, but attacks have been noted in Spain, Thailand, and the US.
All right, cool. There we go. All right. So check it out. First of all, you may have heard it. I don't know if we have any first-timers here, but I've been waiting all week to play this saxophone. Oh, what's up, infographic? You know I like a good process flow infographic, okay? Yes, exactly. So Casually Joseph nailed this. This problem, this CVE 2024-21412 was patched in February. So if you've been doing patch management like a normal person, you gotta patch it. You would have not be a victim of this. Yet they're reporting compromises in Thailand, somewhere else, and the United States. So we are all equally terrible at patching. This is not a, put your hands on your hips akimbo style and look down at some other country and be like, they should just figure it out. It's everybody, okay? So let's look at this exploitation. Remember, just because there's a vulnerability doesn't mean that it's exploited. It's just a weakness, right? It's just an unlocked door. The exploit is the threat actor turning the doorknob and walking in. Whoa, Luke Canfield's in chat. Hello, Luke. Luke Canfield had surgery earlier this week. It was rough. Surgery went for 11 hours almost. The thing was attached to everything. I'm glad to be back. Yeah, Luke Canfield, again, I'm not going to get too much into the details of Luke's medical stuff because I don't think that's appropriate for me to be talking about it. But you did put it in chat that you had surgery. We know you had surgery, Luke. I'm happy that you are on the other side of the surgery. On behalf of the entire Simply Cyber community, and I feel confident saying that, wish you a very speedy recovery and hopefully no more issues in the future associated with that. Very serious stuff, man. Really happy to hear that you're on this side. You know what the surgeons did? They yeeted it out. There you go. All right, so let's look at this thing here. So it takes advantage of Microsoft Defender's smart screen, which I didn't even know there was a smart screen. Doesn't look like it's any type of like 1990s cool hack, meaning back in the day, you used to be able to kind of exploit like user interface type stuff. You could still do it a little bit, but there's like sticky keys, right? If you hit the shift button like 5 times, you'll get a pop-up because it thinks you have like, a condition where your hand shakes and it's like, oh, looks like you might have something. Do you want to do sticky keys? People were able to like run command shells through that and stuff like that. So you could walk up to a locked, printer kiosk and take it over. This seems much different. So looking at the process flow here, originally right off the bat, a victim has to open a LNK file in a email or get pushed there from like a watering hole attack where they think they're at a legit website to download whatever, RuneScape, and they're downloading a malicious file, right? So they bring down the exe, they detonate it on their machine. Nice. Using some decoy PDF injector thing. Okay, so now you're already compromised. At this point, guys, your EDR solution hopefully would catch this. Your end user training would have kept someone from downloading something silly like this. Maybe you got, telemetry, because once this thing gets popped, it's going to have to pull down second stage payloads from the internet. You could see, if you could see right here at the top middle, there's a file server. It says image hippo. I would assume that's a C2 type thing that's pulling down additional payloads and then, off there running with Stealer codes all up in your business. It looks like it's an equal opportunity problem, right? 3 different kinds of malware getting in there. Nasty, nasty business. TLDR, guys, obviously educate your end users. Make sure your email security gateway is tight. But at the end of the day, the number one thing you should do, you gotta patch it. There's a solution out there. There's a patch. You should absolutely be patching your own stuff with the regularity, okay? And if you're responsible for patch management, please, you've got to. I know it's brutal. Like I said, vulnerability management people, of all the roles in our industry, like incident responders get the focus and the love around like mental health and the adrenaline dump and all that. And it's true. It is a really tough job. I'm not marginalizing incident response, but vulnerability management practitioners, they're like quietly suffering in the corner. Like, that meme with the guy at the party and he's like looking at the other couples dancing. Like, that's vulnerability management. They're like, they have no idea. So just vulnerability management, it's a challenge. And then you get stuff like this, right? So you do the best you can. And then still, if you have a gap in your armor, right? We saw how Smog got eliminated in The Hobbit, right? Yeah, that like one little chink in his armor, spoiler alert. So you got to be consistent. This is why cybersecurity is vigilance and consistency, is because if you don't, you get screwed. You gotta patch it. Right? All right, let's go. Sheesh. All right, let's go.
IT leaders note increase in severity of cyber attacks and ransomware and business email compromise stat.
All right, so hold on really quickly. BSEC brings up a good point. I did say end user training. So step 1 of this attack doesn't happen. End user doesn't fall for this. BSEC does bring up a good point. You can train end users all day. You could have daily end user training and still you will have some users who click through, which is why we have defense in depth. But do not let the naysayers poo-poo end user awareness training. It does matter.
Doubt.
Good
Two
morning,
reports
AA
released
Witherspoon.
this week expose the current state of cybersecurity. First, a new report from apps broker CTS states that 9 out of 10 IT leaders polled said that the, quote, risk and severity of cyber attacks has increased over the past year, end quote, while 61% believe the attack surface is now impossible to control. The top 5 concerns of IT leaders, as quoted in the report, were malware or ransomware that halts the ability to operate, a lack of visibility around unknown security risks, threat actors stealing identities to access privileged systems and data misconfigurations, leaving systems open to attack, and having to patch and rewrite vulnerable applications. They also expressed concern over Gen AI as a cyber attack tool, current security investment having little impact, and governance and controls lacking.
Oh my God.
Next in this dual story, a report from Cisco Talos shows that ransomware and business email compromise attacks, quote, accounted for 60% of all incidents in the second quarter of 2024, end quote, with the technology sector being the most targeted. The researchers said that, quote, attackers may view technology firms as a gateway into other industries and organizations, given their role in servicing a range of other industries, including critical infrastructure, end quote. Although this is a long story, it's important to point out also that the report showed that, quote, the most common initial access method was the use of compromised credentials on valid accounts, making up 60% of attacks, end quote.
Oh my God. If I had known the story was that long, I would have packed a lunch. Okay, so check it out. This is GRC Mafia. Where are you at? This all day. This is all day a GRC Mafia story. We should take a lap on this one. Okay, so most IT leaders, first of all, IT, our IT counterparts, I'm looking at you. Okay, severity of cyber attacks has increased. Yeah, welcome to the party, pal. Like, it's 2024, knucklehead. Like, of course, the severity. How about the frequency and severity? That's why it's an industry. That's why you need to start paying people to work in it instead of giving somebody else additional roles. Tech Ricky with the gifted subs.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Thank you, Tech Ricky. And those who just became squad members like Trey Black, Jason Garcia, Flakinator, Jacob Robert, and Micah. Welcome to the party, pals. Hey, what's up, Alana? Alana, you're going to like vibe on this one. I'm telling you. Space Tacos too. Becky Gaylord, if she's in chat. Listen, 9 out of 10 leaders, okay, so 90% said that severity of attacks have increased over the past year. And like, dude, impossible to control at this point. The attack surface is impossible to control. Thank you. Maybe I hate to say, like, I'm going to do a soapbox on this one because we as a cybersecurity industry have been saying for years, like, dude, you can't, I get that we're business enablers and we can't say no and we need to say yes, but like, let's do it this way. But not careful what you wish for, but like, dude, you can't, hey, Glum Hippo 404 with the error code. I love it.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
So retro. It's so retro. I love it. Listen, you can't continue to innovate and push the envelope and go everywhere, right? And just move recklessly and expect that there will be no consequences. When you're a tech company or you're leveraging tech all over the place, I get it. Moving fast and breaking things is a way to increase revenue.
Great cash, homie.
Okay? But at some point, the bill comes due. At some point, you have infrastructure, some of it unmanaged, some of it stood up and you don't even know about it. Some of it is critical to your mission operations and you didn't really configure it properly, but who cares? It's making money. At some point, the bill's going to come due, whether, spuriously hit by some threat actor or targeted, insider threat or not. They said 60% of the attacks are coming from compromised credentials. So even with your sick security, you still got Carl running around giving passwords out. You're clearly not running multi-factor authentication in a lot of these instances. So most IT leaders, get your head out of your butt and listen to your GRC people. So let's look at what their top 5 threats are. Being hit with malware, ransomware, or phishing. Yeah, no kidding. Phishing's like the number one thing. Like 80% of attacks start with phishing. So invest in an email security gateway, educate your end users. Literally, the attack of the story we just went through starts with a phishing email. Hello? In 2024, we're talking about this, okay? Lack of visibility around security risks. That's what GRC people do. That's the job of a GRC person. Number 2. Okay, number 3, threat actors stealing identity. Yep. Put multi-factor authentication in. Use conditional access. The controls, this is, number 3 is zero trust architecture solves this problem. Just implement your fundamental access controls. Move on. Misconfigurations, leaving systems open to attack. Pay your engineers. I mean, come on. Like, okay, so misconfigurations happen all the time. Why don't you focus on your internet-facing assets? Why don't you train your staff to be able to do the things they need to do? Why not have processes in place to validate changes? Maybe CrowdStrike would be interested in validating things before they push it. Just saying, right? Not to kick them while they're down, but, you know. And then having to patch and rewrite vulnerable apps. Yeah, no kidding.
You gotta patch
Gotta patch it. Gotta patch it. You know what totally sucks, y'all? These 5 top threats, if you go back in the Wayback Machine and you Google like, oh, top threats of 2016, like ransomware won't be there, right? But malware, phishing, lack of visibility, maybe identity theft around access control credentials wouldn't be there. Misconfigurations would. It'd be a sleepy one. And then you got to patch it. Okay, so let's look at this. Again, grant me the grace on going a little bit deeper on this one, but this one is so GRC. This one is so GRC, and I live and breathe GRC, and like, so I'm going to take a moment and do this one. Cybersecurity investment has little impact. Yeah, you know what? Let me let you all in on a secret. You can't just throw money at a problem. You can't just stroke a check and make it go away. Businesses, for some reason, the business side of the house, because they're so hyper-focused on money,
Straight cash, homie.
which, by the way, that's fine. When you talk to the business, you have to talk in forms of money, right? Hey, what's up, James, with the super chat? Thanks, bud.
Did we just become best friends?
Listen, I'm not saying that the business isn't there to make money. I'm not ridiculous. I'm not this, like, altruist type person who thinks that, like, you know, like we should all be in a commune or something. Like, I get it. Businesses make money. Capitalism works in a lot of cases, okay? But my thing is, a lot of people who don't understand risk because they don't have GRC people telling them what's up, for people who don't understand IT, for people who don't understand what's going on, they're just a business person and they say, oh, I'll write a check. How much money? And what ends up happening, this headline right here is so misleading. Cyber investment has little impact. Do you know what happens in reality? In reality, they just write a huge check. That doesn't change risk. What happens is you give the money to like the CISO, director of IT, whoever. Then they have to deliberately spend the money in a smart way to buy services or solutions. And then those services and solutions, wait for it, need to be properly deployed into the environment. And furthermore, you need the staff trained and educated to manage and use that technology. Stroking the check is step 1. Steps 2 through 27 are the hard parts. Anyone can stroke a check, dude. Like, come on. So that's where it breaks down. Do you know how many environments I've been in that have multiple solutions stood up that are doing nothing? This is not even a joke. This is real. And if you're in chat, hashtag preach with me if you see this one. You don't have to disclose what business or what solutions. But I have been in multiple businesses where there's multiple EDR solutions, one of them not being done. I've been in businesses where there's a firewall in line but not configured, so it's just a pass-through device. I've been in businesses that have Security Onion fully deployed and no one's looking at it because literally the staff doesn't know how to use Security Onion. They spent 3 months implementing and deploying Security Onion. They even paid someone to help them deploy it. And then nobody had any budget for training. It just seemed like, oh, we'll just know how to use it. And then, so I was like, what are we doing with Security Onion here? And they're like, oh, no one knows how to use it. I'm like, so what are we doing? They're like, I'm like, the telemetry is being pushed to it. What are we doing here? This tool is awesome. Use it. And they're like, we don't know how. I'm like, well, get trained. They're like, we don't have any money. Plus, we're really busy. Here's another thing. Plus, we're really busy deploying this other solution thing that the business wants us to do. This is chaos. It's like Keystone Cops bumping into each other and falling down with reactive measures. And you do a bunch of stuff so you can report to management that you're crushing it. And in reality, you're not moving the needle at all on risk reduction. That's the whole friggin' point of the job. We are here to reduce cyber risk. We're not here to make blinky lights light up and do cool stuff. We're not here to make freaking eye candy displays in the knock look wicked cool with pew pew maps going on. God damn it. Sorry, Kennedy. All right, there's something else in here. Oh yeah, governance and controls lacking. Hire GRC people. Next item.
Trump shooting investigation revives the end-to-end encryption issue. The FBI is expressing some frustrations with the difficulties it is experiencing in getting access to encrypted messaging applications in pursuit of motives and techniques related to the July 13th assassination attempt. Officials have identified 3 messaging accounts connected to the gunman, but are waiting on, quote, legal process returns, end quote, to get into these accounts. However, the Bureau has had early success breaking into the gunman's phone using technology from Cellebrite, Cellebrite, a company that specializes in helping law enforcement gain access to data.
All right, hold on one second. I don't know if Scott Hardy's serious or not, but yeah, you can get a pew pew map. I think Norse is like the kind of the popular one. Yeah, I'm going to pull this up while we talk about this. While we're talking, come on. Oh man, where's the map? I want the pew pew map. Come on, man. Is it Norse? Cyber attack map, real time. I mean, it's so dumb. Yeah, Cellbrite is good. Hold on. Well, okay, Kaspersky. We can't use your products, but we'll use your interfaces here. Allow all cookies. So here we go, Scott Hardy. Here's your. Come on. Here's real-time attacks. Oh my God. What are we doing about this? Get the CFO on the phone. There's so, I mean, I will say that I do like the colors, right? I'm very big on this like retro synthwave, hot pink, blue. All right, so Cellbrite. So the FBI, basically the gunmen, whether they used Signal or Telegram or whatever, it says encrypted apps still a challenge. They did say that they use Cellbrite to help break in. Now, if I had to guess, Cellbrite is a really, really good company, okay? They make, like, basically you take a phone and plug it into a Cellbrite thing, and it unlocks devices. So the Cellbrite solution, and again, I'm not familiar with this story. This has to do with Thomas Crooks, the goober 20-year-old who took a shot at Trump and actually did murder an innocent bystander. So the Cellbrite thing, I think this just unlocked his phone, right? So like Cellbrite did not break into Signal apps. So the apps on his phone were not, broken into. My understanding, Cellbrite did the same thing in the past for the FBI, breaking into phones. I do believe the San Bernardino shooter was an Australian cat who broke into that phone, not Cellbrite. But Cellbrite has like a solution that you basically it's like a plug and play cell phone unlocker solution. Okay. And if I'm not mistaken, Cellbrite's like a digital forensics company. Like that's like kind of what they do. It is worth noting, again, I'm not an expert on the way Signal and other apps do, but like when you do have an app on your phone and you're doing stuff on your phone, there may be log files and, temporary data files from those apps on your phone. So even though like your main messages are stored on Signal servers, for example, it is possible that there is some type of like information stored on the phone. I did see, I'm not going too down the conspiracy theories, but I did see some people were trying to track the geolocation of this guy's phone as far as like cell phone towers to track where he was and stuff like that. This is all digital forensics, right? So if you're into digital forensics, this story and similar stories to it are right up your alley. And then GeoInt, obviously, there's that type of information. This should come as no surprise. The FBI is the Federal Bureau of Investigation. They're basically the U.S. government's police force, and they're going to use the resources available to them in order to get as much information and clarity on what happened, right? I mean, ultimately, they know who took the shot, right? I think what they're wanting to know is like the why behind it, if there were any accomplices, et cetera, et cetera. So a little bit of a cyber story here, digital forensics wise, but yeah, let's go.
And now a word from our sponsor, Vanta. Whether you're starting or scaling your security program, Vanta helps you automate compliance across frameworks like SOC 2, ISO 27001, and more. With Vanta, you can streamline security reviews by automating questionnaires and demonstrating your security posture with a customer-facing trust center. Over 7,000 global companies like Atlassian, Flow Health, and Cora use Vanta to manage risk and prove security. Our listeners get $1,000 off at vanta.com/headlines. That is VANTA.com/headlines.
All right, what's up? Valentino, when Celebrite doesn't work, he uses Celebrex. That's good. All right, good morning, everybody. I don't know if we had any first-timers in here, but if you are a first-timer, drop a hashtag first-timer in chat. Really appreciate y'all being here today. First-timers, long-timers, old-timers. Sometimes, again, I don't research the story, so I don't know if I'm just going to kind of cruise through them or if I'm going to take particular offense. But I don't want to apologize, but appreciate you granting me the grace to express my feelings about that GRC related story. If you're getting value from the stream, holler at me by hitting the like button on YouTube. It goes a long way to helping I don't know why I was going to say old people. It goes a long way to helping new people find the channel. It's as simple as that. We're at 350 people right now. We've been cruising around 350, 400 on the regular. Going to be making an effort here in the next couple weeks to get, basically grow the channel and get more people in the Simply Cyber community. Thank you to the stream sponsors for enabling me to do that. Barricade Cyber, Antisyphon training. It's going to be good. Oh, we got a first timer. One letter, K. Hashtag first timer. Welcome to the party, K.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Love it, love it, love it. Becky Gaylord at the gym. Guy on a treadmill wonders why I'm laughing out loud. The daily cyber threat brief. That's right, Becky. That's right, Becky. If you know, you know, right? All right, guys, check it out. Every single day we do the Simply Cyber Community Challenge. Sarah DaCosta in chat had to deal with some bull crap when she was 18, but it kicked her into, it turned her to the cyber side of things where she got into it. Joined the reserves, went to Germany. Amazing, inspiring story. If you didn't catch Sarah DaCosta's story on LinkedIn, go check it out. Look for the hashtag Simply Cyber Community Challenge on LinkedIn, and you'll find her story. Connect with her, grow your network. We do it every single day. We ask one person in the community to share their story, and then everybody in the community goes on LinkedIn, connects with that person, connects with each other, comments. It's all about community, guys. It's all about consistency, and it's all about community. 1% a day. I am very proud of the Simply Cyber Community Challenge and what it has grown into. If you want to blow up your network on LinkedIn and have your LinkedIn feed be cyber focused, it's as easy as that. Go on LinkedIn, search that hashtag connect. If somebody would like to take the baton today, Mind Runs says they'll take it, Sarah. Mind Runs. Jeff S. says they'll take it. So, Sarah, you got choices. You got choices, Sarah. Let us know in chat if you want. Where is Sarah? I don't see Sarah in chat, actually. So, Mind Runs was the first one to say it. Let's do the jokes of the day, and we'll see. Hold on one second. All right, so every single day of the week has a special segment. Fridays is Grayson's Joke of the Week, presented by James McQuiggan. He's in chat right now. We've got Olympic themes today. Why can't tomatoes win races against lettuce at the Olympic Summer Games? Because the lettuce are always ahead, and the tomatoes are always trying to catch up. Oh, my God. Get your la-la-la-las on, y'all. right, couple more jokes from James McQuiggan. Why wouldn't the bike finish the Olympic race? It was too tired. Oh, it was too tired. Okay, hey, James wants to know, Jim Lund did you know that Jim Lund once competed in the sun tanning Olympics, but Jim only got the bronze? Oh, nice. Another classic coming in from Carrie. Carrie's been assisting with the jokes of the week. I love it. A termite went to a restaurant and the server asked what he wanted for his order. The termite said, a table and 2 chairs. Oh. All right, very good. Thank you so much, James McQuiggan. Thanks, Carrie. As always, guys, thank you so very much. Joke of the week is such a great way to end the week. We still got half a show to do and then jaw-jacking panel style. So stay with us. Let's drop back into the news and finish strong. Yeah, I think Mine Runs said it first. So Mine Runs gets the baton. Mine Runs, please share your story on LinkedIn. And Jeff S., come back on Monday and Mine Runs potentially, hopefully, would give you the baton. Do we have, is there an announcement? I see someone saying, welcome, Samuel Alibi. Is that a first timer in here? I can't see it, but we'll assume based on Space Tacos that Samuel Alibi is a first timer. Welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal.
All right. So K first timer. Stay tuned, K, because we do a cybersecurity AMA mentor event right after the show ends in about 20 minutes. Your question and so many more will be answered. Plus, I have multiple degrees from Dakota State University, including a PhD in cyber ops. So I'm definitely can help you answer those questions. Let's go, guys. Let's finish strong.
Chrome to scan password-protected files for malicious content. New security warnings will be added to the Chrome web browser to enhance user diligence when downloading potentially suspicious and malicious files. The new warning messages will, quote, convey more nuance about the nature of the danger, end quote, and this is to help users make more informed decisions. This will take the form of a 2-tier download warning taxonomy dealing with suspicious files and dangerous files. Each category will have its own icons, color, and text.
All right.
Shine.
This is 100,000% made for Carl. And K, first timer, all those first timers. You might see this emote in chat. I'll drop it. It's this bald-headed guy. His name is Carl. He's from a TV show called Aqua Teen Hunger Force. But we in the community use Carl as a token avatar for a general end user who doesn't care about IT. It could be Carl from the sales department or Carl in accounting or Carl in engineering. It's just Carl. This feature, shout out to Google. This feature is trying to protect Carl from themselves. You get an update that says suspicious download blocked. You get an update that says dangerous download blocked. You get an update that says you downloaded this encrypted file and it might have viruses in it. All they're trying to do is, basically you can stand. I know this is going to be silly, but like this is the equivalent of it. You can say you're building a bridge, right? And the bridge isn't built yet. So you're wearing a bright orange vest. You've got a huge flag and you're waving it. And Carl is driving his car just like, right? You can wave. You could say the bridge isn't built. There's no road there. You're going to drive off a cliff, basically, Carl. You can do all the things. That's what this is doing. This is trying to put more flags in your hands. Put some construction barrels in place. Put a blinking red light, you're going to die if you keep following this, right? At the end of the day, the guy driving the car, Carl, needs to be an active participant and not shooting themselves in the leg. We have controls in place that will prevent them from hurting themselves, like EDR with auto quarantines and stuff like that. But it takes a team, right? It takes a village. Carl, you can't just click on all the things, right? And by the way, just as a quick aside, yeah, exactly. I was thinking of that scene from Speed as well. So really quickly, this is probably the most ridiculous scene. This is like pinnacle 90s ridiculous action. really quickly. If you ever seen this scene, there's no way this bus makes this jump. So in Speed, they jump this huge chasm. They're doing like 60 and they jump like 80 feet. Like, get out of here with that noise. Anyways, great movie. It has like 3 ends to the movie. So yeah, help yourself, protect yourself from yourself. Make sure you update your Chrome. You got to patch it. You got to patch it.
Shedding a light on elite North Korean spy hackers. A report published yesterday, Thursday, by Mandiant outlines a sophisticated hacking group from North Korea that shows exceptional skill in stealing blueprints and sensitive information about weapon systems,
what is it,
nuclear power
Kimsuki?
plants, satellites, and much more.
Give me some Kimsuki.
Andariel, Andariel, the group has launched several large, impactful cyber operations over the years. Mandiant says experts and government agencies have been alarmed by the ability of this group, also named APT-45, in its ability to steal sensitive plans, adding, quote, when Kim Jong-un demands better missiles, these are the guys who steal the blueprints for him. They're willing and agile enough to target any entity to achieve their objectives.
Yeah, no kidding. Because they're...
A link to the Mandiant report is available in the show notes.
Okay, so a couple things. One, like, new threat actor on the scene for me, Andriel, right? Sounds like a character like one of the elves in Lord of the Rings, but whatever. Andriel, APT-45. I didn't know about them. So North Korea, they've got Lazarus Group, which is the OG straight kicking it. Crypto, they're like Lazarus Group's going to the moon. We've got Kimsuki, which I thought this was going to be because Kimsuki is really advanced, and now they've got this APT-45. And like they said, if Kim Jong-un, who's the authoritative, leader, the supreme being, I think he considers himself like a deity, wants something, you go get it. Or else, I mean, like, he's an authoritative regime, right? Like, he'll either, like, I don't know. I can't say definitively that he'll hurt your family or keep you from doing things, but, like, authoritative people get their way because they have all the levers that they can pull to make you want to do things. This North Korean team, if Mandiant's reporting on it, then, Mandiant's super legit. Mandiant's like the premier creme de la creme super incident response firm. They get all the big cases. They have tons of telemetry. So unfortunately, intellectual property like weapons blueprints is coming out. Now, North Korea, you know what? I don't even want to get political or anything like that. So basically, North Korea is stealing this information. Once the genie's out of the bottle, they can't be like that. So if you are managing intellectual property, whether it's weapons, blueprints, or whatever, secret sauce, recipes, then you've got to protect it. Access control, all these things. I do want to point out really quickly, though, like, even if North Korea steals this, they still have to understand what the blueprints are. They still have to build the weapon systems. They still have to have the pilots and the operators to manage those things, right? I mean, it kind of low-key reminds me of the first story where I lost my mind, where businesses are just stroking checks and then not being able to execute on it because they don't have the resources and the subject matter expertise to do anything with it. Instead of stroking a check, North Korea is stealing it, but it's kind of the same. It's kind of like, it's a different entry point, but to me, there's a parallel here of the same outcome, right? So whether I stroke a check or I hire my A-team to steal it, right? Once you get past that, you stroke a check, you get the weapon system. You steal the IP, you got a weapon system. You still need to build it, run it, manage it, all the things and so it doesn't say North Korea is having trouble doing that part. We'll see. But I don't know, man. North Korea, like, they're really good at launching rockets into the ocean. Like,
Minnesota-based spyware company gets hacked. TechCrunch is reporting on the hack of a discrete company based in Minnesota that manufactures spyware for clients around the world. A cache of files allegedly stolen from the company, SpyTech, was delivered to TechCrunch, who was able to verify the data's validity in part. The company's chief...
You guys never heard the term stroke a check? I don't know. I don't think that's a New England thing. But yeah, I mean, that's stroke a check. Like, like you pen stroking across it, stroke a check.
Products are known generally as stalkerware, ostensibly to allow people to keep an eye on their kids and or their wandering spouses. TechCrunch states the company's products have been installed in, quote, more than 10,000 devices since the earliest dated leaked records from 2013, including Android devices, Chromebooks, Macs, and Windows PCs worldwide, end quote. Over.
Okay. Let's see. So SpyTech is SpyTech's the actual company. And they make, let's see. Oh my God. All right. So this is their website. Oh, hold on. Literally. So this is the Wayback Machine, okay? Reinforce faithfulness in your marriage with spouse monitoring software. Bro, if you're installing spouse monitoring software, you've got to, I mean, like, I don't know if you're in denial, but you like, like you're doing, there's problems. Okay. So anyways, remember, there is a legitimate use case for spyware. Like, you don't call it a spyware, you call it remote monitoring solution. Businesses will install it on their endpoints for their company, right? In a post-pandemic world, some businesses went way overboard where they were like, you got to have your camera on and we got to watch you and take screenshots and all this other crap to make sure you're still working. Yeah, there's that. There's making sure that, we know, like with MDM, mobile device management, could technically be like spyware. You could see where the phone is. You can remotely wipe it. You can't really read the messages or the pictures on it, but my kids, right? I installed, basically nanny software on my kids' devices. I don't want some creep messing with my kids, right? I protect my children. If my kids go for a bike ride in the neighborhood, I can use it to see where they are, right? If they don't come home when they're supposed to, I can go find them, especially if there's a problem, right? So there are legitimate, reasonable use cases for this technology. So you can't say ban it all. Now, obviously, Anton Dobson, it can be weaponized in a mean way, right? Spousal monitoring software, creep software, right? People were doing this with air tags, dropping it in ladies' purses or clutches at the bar and then following them home. Creepy stuff, right? So, unfortunately, this Minnesota-based company just went whole ham into the, you can snoop on whoever you want, come check it out. And now they were hacked. Nice job. And all of the information that came out, I'm kind of curious. I guess here's the thing: the activity logs that came out of it's really much of a yard sale. I almost think, like, to me, the story here is interesting about the company and making people aware that stuff like this exists. But for me, I guess if you want, you might want to check your own devices personally to see if this software is running on it. I'm sure this software does not hide. Threat actors have the ability to hide apps, hide services, hide stuff like that. If I had to guess, this company's probably not doing that. It's just running there. And, if you look for it, you'll find it. The data that got breached in here, to me, it's like storage wars, right? Like, oh, you bought a random storage container that someone abandoned and you open it up and it's full of bags of dirty clothes. And maybe there's a 1950s Mickey Mantle baseball card in there, but it's it's a smorgasbord. It's a grab bag, right? Like, no one is buying this data and they're like, oh yeah, I'm totally going to weaponize this. There's something in here I want, right? So the story, whatever. I think it's gross, though. I do think it's gross that people install stalker software on devices, especially because literally everybody carries a phone on them at all times. So it's basically a beaconing device. The final thing I'll say about this is just be aware it can be installed on mobile devices, laptops, anything, right? It's just software. So be mindful of that. All right, let's go. There's probably a scanner tool that you can use to see if this thing's installed. I leave that as an exercise.
3,000 GitHub accounts used by malware distribution service. According to Bleeping Computer, quote, threat actors known as Stargazer Goblin have created a malware distribution as a service from over
I guess Flaming Donkey was taken. What was that? Flaming Goblin or whatever they just say.
3,000 fake accounts on GitHub that push information stealing malware, end quote. The malware delivery service is called Stargazer's Ghost Network, and it uses GitHub repositories along with compromised WordPress sites to distribute password-protected archives that contain info-stealer malware. Researchers from Checkpoint discovered the operation, saying it's the first time that such an organized and large-scale scheme has been documented running on GitHub, a platform that is trusted by its users and who are therefore more likely to fall for malicious links within the repositories.
Yeah.
Don't forget to join us.
All right, so this is the final story, and this is really, really worth mentioning. Stargazer Goblin, get out of here. So, threat actors are leveraging cloud infrastructure to host their malware, right? If you see a file on GitHub or a file on OneDrive or a file on Google Drive or a file on Dropbox, and you're not, got your antenna up to be concerned, if you're Carl, right? You might be like, oh, I know OneDrive. That's Microsoft's website. Thumbs up. Way to go. Approved. Oh, I use GitHub all the time. Like I dabble on GitHub. Like it must be fine, right? It's open source. How could something as big as GitHub be a malware distribution site? But threat actors know it. And this, by the way, this is just straight up creating fake GitHub accounts. So 3,000 GitHub accounts. So obviously I would assume that the threat actors have scripted in some way to just at scale generate fake accounts. This doesn't even account. There's been known instances reported of kind of abandoned GitHub accounts that threat actors have taken over, stolen credentials taken over, and then hosting malware on it, essentially leveraging the trust and authority of that previously legitimate GitHub repo. This is just a normal attack vector. I mean, I would educate your IT staff. This might be a good one for the newsletter for the IT staff, just to be mindful, continue your vigilance that GitHub is GitHub's not scanning the code to make sure it's secure beforehand. It's just an open code repository, open source software. Rex with a super chat.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
I performed a bunch of phishing attempts yesterday. Out of dozens of attempts, only 2 victims were walleye and 2 perch. Oh boy. LOL. Very nice. I'll tell you what, I've got a ton of stuff to do today, but like this particular story intrigues me, especially because they're basically distributing well-known info stealers. Redline info stealers, definitely one you should be mindful of. Redline's very popular. These other ones are popular, but like Redline is the belle of the ball right now as far as info stealers. You see it all over like threat actor Telegram channels. You see it in like threat intelligence platforms. Redline basically, if you don't know, these info stealers, they basically just vacuum up your session tokens, your creds, any passwords it finds, stolen, all that stuff. I don't know if Redline does key logging and sends that, but it's pretty gnarly, all the things it does. Also, it pulls information about your system, like your host name and, different details about your system. There's actually been instances where businesses have discovered they have compromised assets because Redline has pulled information and they found it in, basically a threat intelligence platform or dark web forum. And they're like, oh, Jesus, Carl's machine's compromised. So don't download dumb stuff from GitHub. Be mindful. Archive password lists can be malware. I'm going to look into this one personally, see if I can do a little bit of a information awareness post on LinkedIn later today around this one. This one's particularly interesting. All right, so we're at 8:55. Let's go. Let me do this. I think we're going to be pivoting. Pivot. Get your Friends episode ready. All right, guys. Stay tuned because we're going to be moving over to jawjacking on Fridays. We do a panel-style cybersecurity Ask Me Anything. We're going to have some great practitioners. I know someone's dropped in. I don't even know who it is yet. And we ask if you want to like it's easier said than done, but like, we've invited people from Red Siege. I invited Henry Danielson, our guest from last night. Kimberly can fix it. She might be there. Jenny might be there. I don't know. But anyways, we're going to get all the answers to all your questions as best as we can do for the next 30 minutes. This has been episode 673 of Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief. If you have to go, have a great weekend. Congratulations on crushing it this week. Next week's looking good too. Shout out to Luke Canfield. Good to have you in the chat, my man. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. I'm Dr. Gerald Auger from Simply Cyber, excuse me. Until next time, y'all, stay secure. Let's go ahead and pivot. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the party. My name is Jerry Guy. The next 30 minutes, we're going to be doing some AMA stuff coming hot off the heels of that nerd. Are you kidding me? That nerd, Dr. Gerald Auger. Oh, what a poof. That guy was losing his mind over some GRC stuff. What a knucklehead. Guys, we're straight crushing it here, answering all your questions. It's going to be super dope. We got some panelists coming in here. Looks like we got one Texas-based DJ who's going to be dropping bombs. What's up, DJ B-Sec in the house?
Dropping bombs. Woo!
What's up, brother? How are you?
You can see I'm from the office today, so
I know. It looks like I'm looking at you through a spy hole.
If I make this whole thing wide, it'll look like a mess.
Oh my God. Okay. So, hey, just so everyone knows, we're doing AMA. There might be some more panelists joining us soon. But DJ B-Sec is a long time, as you can tell by the color of his hair, a long time cybersecurity professional, came up on the network engineering track, got a lot of experience, and it's going to be good. So before we get into the questions, DJ B-Sec, how was your week?
Oh, I talked about this last night. I was on with Joseph and Jesse. It's been hectic for the last 2 weeks, ever since the hurricane hit.
Yeah, that's right. Hurricane Beryl rode through your neighborhood and messed up things. Are you personally back up and running okay?
I was back up and running within a couple of days. I had power. I luckily was not one that had any damage or anything, so I got lucky in that sense. But it's been hectic. Lucky,
B-Sec, or properly managed your risk prior to an event?
A little bit of both, because there's a little bit of luck when it comes to Mother Nature.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, so let's do some AMA, and let's see what's up. I know Kay had a question earlier. Kay, if you could answer that question, ask that question again. We got one from Real Bilbo. Does anyone in the community have a good resource for logo creation? I'm looking for a logo for my newly formed business. B-Sec, you got any thoughts?
A new logo?
Obviously I have some thoughts.
That's a Kimberly question. Where's she at?
Yeah, Kimberly can fix it. Are you in chat? Can we get you in chat? We could do voice only, Kimberly. Real Bilbo, I will say Canva has a lot of templates. The original SC logo, I hired someone, I think, off of like Fiverr to do it for me. Hey, an update on that, by the way, in case people were wondering. Real Bilbo, I feel like we answered your question. Kimberly's going to be jumping on here in about 5 to 10 minutes. Ooh, the rare Kimberly visit. So she says go to Canva with 3 exclamation points, Real Bilbo. Canva.com is where you need to go in order to do that. I will give an update to the community. I know some of you newcomers don't know about this. Welcoming Casually Joseph into chat. This new interface is kind of rough. What's up, Joseph? How are you?
What's going on? I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. So just a quick update for everyone in the community. There was some activity around developing a new logo from Simply Cyber. I had a graphic artist on payroll or whatever, like doing these things, and he developed everything. And after having developed all the content, I put it to the community, and the community roundly said that they like the original logo, the SC logo that we've had for years. So we're going to continue to use that. So essentially, that was an exercise in exploring that the community did not want a new logo, which just goes to show you. I probably should have asked first. James Jr. MMA with a super chat.
Did we just become
I was
best
gonna say
friends?
the user by the name of Guy also threw something out too, using AI and Fiverr as well.
Oh, there you go. AI to do some logo creation. That's a great idea. I like that too. Plus, you'd own the license to it.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, we got some questions coming in. I want to do the super chat one really quickly. James says, would the cyber attack increase fall on DevSecOps? I'm applying for that job and would love to use this story. So James is talking about the story, I believe, that said that 9 out of 10 IT leaders say that the cyber attacks have increased in severity and they're writing checks and it's not reducing risk. BSEC, what do you think about this? Remember, he's applying for a job around DevSecOps. So let's frame the answer on how this dude can crush this job interview.
Yes, with DevSecOps, that's a good question. When it comes to cyber attack increase, I mean, DevSecOps, most of that stuff is going to be cloud-based now. There's going to be a lot. Depending on what you're actually going to be doing, are you actually going to be doing development? You're going to be a developer in itself, or you're going to be doing the security side, or you're going to be doing all of it? Would really depend on how you're going to answer this question. Because if you're a developer and you are doing the security side, number one, you've got to develop securely. And then you're going to have to figure out how to secure the infrastructure that you're creating, whether it's infrastructure as code, built that in. That's a deep question.
Yeah, it is. It is a deep question. But I do think at 50,000 feet, that particular story, and I'll drop a link to that story that he's asking about in chat in case you missed it earlier. That story does lay out 5 major concerns that IT leaders said in this response. So basically, if IT leaders are saying that this is their top 5 concerns, if you can remember at least 2 of them and bring them up in a job interview and talk about how you think it relates, you're going to be answering, you're going to be speaking to their top concerns. So it's basically like a cheat code about what people are worried about. So I would certainly use that. I think it's a great article. I mean, I spent 5-10 minutes flipping out on it.
Well, what I'd also do is look, the company itself, try and do some OSINT on the company themselves and understand what it is that they do, because that will also play into the security side and what you're actually doing or developing.
Yeah. As for DevSecOps itself, I think the biggest points in the story for DevSecOps would be number 4 and 5, where it says misconfigurations, leaving systems open to attack, and having to patch and rewrite vulnerable applications. That's very much up the alley of DevSecOps, because correct me if I'm wrong, DevSecOps, they're usually in charge of spinning out your clusters of applications and your devices. So they're going to have your golden disk images, and they're going to have your known good states of applications. And if they have these and they're just pushing out vulnerable ones, then it's going to create a mess later down the line.
I think you hit it on the head. I think 4 and 5, looking at this, 4 and 5, you don't really need to worry about 1, 2, and 3, especially 1 with ransomware and stuff within the DevSecOps environment. But 100% you're going to have to learn or know number 4 with misconfigurations, because everybody hears about misconfigured S3 buckets or misconfigured keygens or something like that within Azure that people are able to get into. So 100% it's on configurations and making sure that you're solid in that state.
I love it. Thank you, gentlemen. Hashtag Team SC before we take the next one, which is going to be for BSEC. It's a direct question for BSEC. I'd like to welcome to the panel Miss Jenny Housley. Hello, Jenny. How are you?
GRC. Got a GRC shirt on.
Yep. Jenny Housley representing GRC. It's great to see you, Jenny.
Doing
How you
fine.
been?
How's everyone?
Excellent.
Been
BSEC.
good. Been good. Had a great week.
Oh, perfect. I love it. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, Jenny Housley. BSEC, real quick, CJ wants to know, what's the hardest part of networking and how did you learn it?
Starting off, the hardest part is always subnetting. It's 100% always subnetting. people trying to understand what a subnet is. And in all reality, yes, you need to learn it and really know what it is. What you really need to understand is what an A network, a B network, and a C network is, what they are. Not many networks out there are going to be past the /24. So if you know 24 to 30, that's good. But for a test or anything like that, you have to understand how subnetting works. That's the number one. I think that's for everybody.
All right, I love it. Subnetting, 1, 2, 3. Looks like we have another person ready to come on to stage. I'm just confirming that she is ready to go. We typically see her as Sophia. She's giving me the head nod. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Kimberly Can Fix It. Hi, Kimberly.
Good morning.
All right, I love it. Look at this panel. This is straight crushing it.
Can't
All
see my
right,
shirt though.
Oh yeah, hashtag. Oh, I love it. Simply Cyber Community. Like if you didn't know, that shirt is phenomenal. What do we got there?
I like it, Joseph.
I love it. We'll be giving out these stickers at Black Hat DEF CON, Wild West Hackin' Fest, B-Sides Charleston, Simply CyberCon. So if you like that logo, come check it out. All right, so question for the panel. Let's go with Jenny on this one. Jenny K, who is a first-timer. Welcome to the party, pal. Welcome to the party. Kay asked this question earlier, wondering, now they say career mentorship for a fee, like just disregard that. They're a student in a cyber ops program, so an offensive security program, feeling extremely lost. What guidance would you give, Jenny, to someone who's basically, it sounds like a undergraduate student trying to figure out their way on getting direction and ultimately, having a career path here?
Well, first of all, I would say he needs to volunteer for the baton for the Simply Cyber Community Challenge. Get him out there, join the Discord channel, start, because I know we have a mentorship channel in the Discord. Just start putting himself out there, see who is in the community that will reach out to him, and try those things.
All right, I love it. I'm trying to tag Kay in chat right now, and it's not working. So, Kay, if you're not already, I know you're a first timer. I just did ! Discord in chat. So go ahead. The Nightbot should drop up. If you're not on the Simply Cyber Discord server, that's definitely where to get started. You just need a direction and a plan, but you're already in a PhD cyber ops program. I always say this to everybody in undergraduate. And then, Joseph, I'd love your thoughts on this since you just completed a bachelor's program. Mm-hmm. If you're in a higher ed program, that should just be one piece of what you're doing. You should be supplementing your undergraduate program with lab work, networking, conferences, all the things like cyber. Like, I know from a marketing perspective, it's best practice to say, oh, it's super easy. Like, take my boot camp, guaranteed success, whatever. Like, cybersecurity is not easy. It's like, it's hard. And it just continues to be hard. Like it's awesome. It's super rewarding. But like all the work you're doing now, there's no summit. Like you get a win and then you have to keep climbing. Joseph, you just finished a bachelor's degree. You want to comment on Kay's question?
Yeah, sure. So first and foremost, I would say taking mentorship for a fee, getting people to just paying for mentorship, that's an idea that baffles me, having been exposed to our wonderful community. Yeah, don't bother spending money for mentorship. 9 out of 10 times they're grifters. There's so many philanthropists in our community who put out free content and give free guidance. All you have to do is find it. And here is Simply Cyber is a great place to start. Black Hills, there's plenty of great practitioners over there. Red Siege, they have great practitioners, all just giving away information for
Hack
free.
Smarter, right?
Smarter,
That's
Tyler
like
Ramsey.
that is designed for mentorship.
Mm-hmm. Tyler Ramsey, he does free mentorship sessions. His streams are relatively small, kind of like these. I think they're smaller than this. So if you just pop in and you're like, I have questions about red team stuff. I don't know what I'm doing. Is this what I want to do? He usually has great guidance on it. I will just pretty much echo what Jenny said. Find the communities, find the resources, join the Discords, talk to people, and you'll eventually get an idea of what it is you want to do. I was in a very similar spot 2-3 years ago at this point. I did not know what I was doing. I think I was much like every fledgling cyber operator, where I was like, I want to hack stuff. And then I was like, wait a minute, there's more to cybersecurity than hacking things. And it was through this community and others that I found different things that I could do. So
Joseph
love
said,
it.
I want to hack stuff, and then they're like, no, you're going to patch stuff.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, the inversion of hacking.
Yeah.
And like again, just so because this is so germane to this moment, Kimberly's in a program right now as well, and she's crushing it. Kimberly, what are your thoughts from your perspective, since you are also kind of on path?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I think I will, not want to say kudos. I would repeat everything that both Jenny and Joseph both said. I mean, networking, getting into the community is huge to help you be able to find those different people that are doing all those different things, kind of see what maybe you might be a little bit more attracted to if you're still trying to figure out what it is that you want to do. And then I think also just being confident in yourself too. Like part of the program I'm in is the professional development piece, is added in there, which is huge. Even though I have a lot of work experience in other arenas, not in cybersecurity, it was a whole different thing coming into this field. So I think getting into that mindset again and really going back to the basics, I guess, and making sure that you have that as well, because it's about standing out, I think, in cybersecurity and tech nowadays, and finding, having people kind of see that in you, your passion for it. And so.
Love it. We've got a question here from Digital Dystopia. I do like that name. Any recommendations
cool.
for a good narrative book, cyber related, excluding Brett Shaver's new release book? I don't fully understand the question about a narrative book, but I guess go around the horn. Start with Jenny. Book recommendations, cybersecurity book recommendations.
Oh, let's see. Was it The Cuckoo's Egg is a classic to start off with.
Yeah, good one.
Nicole Pelroth's This Is How They Tell Me the World Ends is going to be good. Those are the two, I would think, good places to start.
I love it. Kimberly, you got a cyber book you want to throw out there?
I was trying to look up what the Brett Shaver's book was. I think, is it a DFIR book that's coming out? Investigative Mindset. I have quite a few. I mean, I have lots of books that I have kind of started, and I'll go back in and let me just see what I currently have up in my library. Oh, well, I have the CISA Plus because I'm studying for that. So I actually bought the Audible book, and it's not bad. I'll use it sometimes to read along with the book. So that's in there. Let's see. The Art of the Attack was one that I had that was fairly recent. That's open. Oh, and The Coming Wave. I think, Gerald, you shared that one. So I think I'm into like chapter 3 on that book. But those are a few. Tracers in the Dark. I finished that one.
I was going to say
2 months ago. So.
Tracers in the Dark. I did not finish that, nor will I. I'm not going to read the last chapter, personally.
Yep.
Joseph, you got a book recommendation?
I was gonna say Tracers in the Dark. It's one of my favorite books. Very much if you are interested in forensics and kind of curious about the blockchain. If you're blockchain curious, it goes through the history of how that was developed, and it is a very heavy book. I will give you that much. The content in that book is not for the lighthearted.
No, it's a seedy underbelly of criminals.
Yeah. The last chapter I read the last chapter or the last section on the way home on a flight, and I think when the book ended, I was just landing. I'm like, I need a whiskey and a cigarette. This is awful.
Yeah.
But
it's pretty bad.
I saw somebody mention Ghost in the Wire. That's a great one. Kevin Mitnick's book.
Yeah, 100%. BSEC, round us out on book recommendations.
So I dropped a link into the page that I have all my books on. ChatGPT hit one on the head. It's not necessarily a cybersecurity book. It does go into kind of GRC. The Phoenix Project is an amazing book. I don't know.
Ooh, hold on. You had me at GRC.
Okay.
So I don't know if anybody, I guess maybe nobody here has read The Phoenix Project. The Phoenix Project is a great book. It is more along the lines of IT, but it does invoke a lot of GRC within it. And by GRC, I mean like having backups for people, not putting all your eggs in one basket for one individual.
Oh, I see it here. Yeah. Okay.
There's a follow-up to that. It's called Beyond the Phoenix Project and then the Unicorn Project. So it's kind of a 3-book thing. But that probably is the best book I've ever read as it relates to IT, because it goes in depth, and it's more along the lines of a business book, but it goes along. It's probably tailored towards somebody that's in management or upper management. But it goes into how having a development group and and having one person in the company that knows how to do everything and nobody to back them up can bite you in the butt.
Yeah, this looks very cool.
Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, it says a novel about IT, DevOps, and helping your business win.
Yeah,
it's 60% off right now on Audible, everybody. So
I might listen to that on the flight to Vegas.
And it's one you won't put down. Like, it's one that I read like in a couple of days, like even with work going on and stuff. And then once it was over with, I was telling the CFO, "Hey, you really need to read this book. You need this'll put you into our world, and you'll understand kind of where we're at and why we think the way we think."
It's actually been on my to-read list. Somebody at the local meetup told me about this book. Apparently, there's a tradition with this book where it's like senior management will give it to a trainee or somebody who's about to become a manager, because it's like a pseudo passing the torch, because the content in the book is apparently that good. Yeah, I haven't read it myself yet, so I can't say, but
it is a great book. And like I said, there is a follow-up book to it, Beyond the Phoenix Project and then the Unicorn Project. But it's a page turner for sure.
Yeah, we'll have to check it out. I'm going to bring it up on stage so everybody can see it. Also, shout out for the super chat from James McQuiggan,
Just become best friends.
who shared a resource as well. Let me share this really quickly so everyone can see it. This is the Phoenix Project. Like Kimberly said, you can get it on. Wait, hold on. I want you to see the actual book cover. You can get it on Audible, hardcover. You can get it on all the fashions. Right now, dude, you can get it on Kindle for $4, audiobook for $10. So this is that great. And then I haven't read this one either. James McQuiggan in Super Chat recommended this one. James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet, regular Simply Cyber community member, great guy. Data-driven computer security defense. The, all caps, bold move, computer security defense you should be using. So this looks interesting, from Roger Grimes, also worth checking out. If anybody on the panel is familiar with that book, I'd love your thoughts as well. Sounds like nobody's got familiarity with that one. No. I will just say really quickly, no one asked me, but it is. I think it's worth mentioning.
It is your show.
Well, yes. It's a community show. This book right here from Scott Shapiro, Fancy Bear Goes Fishing. This was actually a recommendation from Jenny Housley about a year ago, live on stream. I went out and bought it right after Jenny recommended it, and it is excellent. It's kind of like Tracers in the Dark in that it's like different kind of case studies combined into one text. It's very nice. Kay recommends the Cybersecurity Career Master Plan. Thanks, Kay. I forgot. That's the book I wrote. Such an idiot. I forget about all the
book. Seriously, Gerald. I know it's been a while, but that's a great book. I flipped it open the other day. I have it back here on my list, and there's some great stuff in there.
Yeah, really thank you very much. Collaborative with Jenny. With Jack Scott and John Helmus and Kim Wynn. All right, so let's keep doing questions here. Great panel, great conversation. All right, so Joel Harrison asked a very technical question. This one's going to be really difficult to answer. Not sure how to answer this one, but what's a normal amount of connections, endpoints, listening connections you should see on a Windows 11 PC that has EDR on it? So let's just throw this one to Joseph. Joseph, you jump on a machine and hit netstat and you see a bunch of noise. Are you concerned or not concerned?
That depends.
Agreed.
When there's a lot, I'm trying to think about how to best answer this.
There's really no good answer. With all due respect, Joel, it depends on the business, on the system, on what's installed, what's listening. a million things.
Yeah, it really depends. As Jerry says, even on a default like vanilla Windows 11 box, you're gonna get like 40 lines of listening processes, just because there's a lot of things listening to your loopback address. A lot of services listen to it, and you'll see that. It's not really about the amount of traffic that you see on your box. I would be looking out for listening processes going to weird IP addresses. Look for look for anything that is listening at a regular rate. Sorry, if you could find some way of finding it beaconing using a Rita or AC Hunter. But there's a lot of processes listening in the background.
My question to this question is, why are you looking? Is there there's got to be a reason why you're looking for that. If there's a reason why you're looking for that, then now you've got to get in and you're going to dive in and go, okay, looking up an IP address or seeing what port it's coming to and pulling that down and maybe doing a search to see where is that IP address coming from. Those type of things. You're not just
on traffic.
daily running around and running netstat on people's machines just to see what's connected.
I love it. Shout out to Deb Wiggly in chat. I always like saying hi to Deb when she's in chat. She's hashtag Team SC. She's Black Hills, but she's always like heavily involved in the community, and I'm a big fan of Deb Wiggly. Kimberly, good question coming for you. Define mentorship. What does it actually mean? K Bandwidth wants some understanding.
Wow, what does mentorship actually mean? I guess that could be dependent upon, your own personal point of view, but what you're needing mentorship for. But typically it's to have someone guide you in potentially a direction that you are seeking, or maybe you don't know which direction you want to go. So you're looking for somebody to help mentor you, help guide you again along the way, maybe give you some insights, some tips, somebody that has some experience typically and knows a variety of different things to kind of give you some of that exposure. So typically that's what you're looking for in a mentor. But it really just depends too on where you want to go. So are you looking for somebody for a mentor for a career, helping you find a career in cybersecurity and establish yourself? Or are you looking for somebody to help you with like professional just development and building connections? Like, what is the purpose of that mentorship? I think first is going to be the question. And then trying to seek out somebody you really want to not just ask anybody to do that, really try to find, first of all, those people who are looking to mentor. Not everybody is looking to mentor. There might be some people that you see that look great, but that's something that they just don't have time for, or it's just bandwidth that they don't have possible. So there are groups, there are communities. You can go to Discords, a lot of the resources that are renamed here regularly, and be able to find people who can help mentor and even mentor at scale, like Gerald. Finding specific things that you're looking for. I know Tyler Ramsby does the same thing with the Hack Smarter Discord too. So if you can't find someone to commit to being your mentor, you can kind of virtually, get that same type of, those same types of insights. It may not be one-on-one, but you can attend a lot of things like this. Zach Hill does the AMA. That's another form of a mentorship, that can be done too. So it may not always be able to be done in person, I will say, because there's a lot of demand, but there are places for that. So I would say seek that out and just make sure it's in the direction that you're looking for, that person who you choose to be your mentor.
Love it. All right. We've got a super chat that just came in, and it's a really fun question. And we'll go around the panel. And then I saw a question with Swims with Sharks asked about GRC I can help with. James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet.
Yep.
He wants to know, we'll go around the horn, lightning round. What's your least favorite word in cyber GRC? And what's your favorite word? All right. So I'll go first, I guess, just to give the team here an opportunity to think through what an answer would be. My favorite word, I love cyber resiliency. It's not a word anyone's using, but I'm trying to make it a thing. So I'll put it as my favorite. We don't do cybersecurity. We do cyber resiliency. Let's be real. And then my least favorite word, that's, I don't know. What's my least? What's something? The thing is, when you ask extreme questions, this is a tip I've learned when by becoming a better interviewer. When you ask someone like for the most outrageous thing that's ever happened, or like their least favorite thing they've ever done, like you put the person on the spot to begin evaluating different things in their head, and they're thinking, oh, that's not the most extreme. There's got to be another one. When you really should just ask, like, what's an example of something that was really bad? And they'll end up pulling one. So my least favorite word in cyber, I kind of don't like XDR. I don't like XDR. I think XDR is trash. I think it's such a lazy thing to say. Okay, so let's go around the panel. BSEC, what favorite word, least favorite word?
As soon as you said XDR, the first thing that came to my head was Neil, because Neil was always like, I hate it. That word is trash. I put it in chat. I said my least favorite word to hear is breach.
Mm-hmm. No, good point. Good point.
And I'm with you on the cyber resilience. I've actually, I would say over the last year and a half, the stuff that I send out is no longer says we're cybersecurity training or we're doing this. We're cyber resilience, and I'm trying to beat that into everybody's head to explain that it's not security. You're trying to create a resiliency to make sure when something happens or to be resilient from something happening. It's not I hate it when it comes back to somebody that's doing cybersecurity into a business or something, and it seems as though it's all on them. If something happened, it's one person's fault. Cybersecurity, cyber resiliency is not one individual's job. It's everybody in the company's job.
I love it. Joseph, least word, favorite word.
Ooh, I think, okay, so my least favorite word in this industry is the word can't. Because there's a lot of times that people were like, we just can't do it. And you're like, why can't we protect these machines? We can't do it. And they never qualify why. They never go into why they can't do it or why they can't apply some sort of security practice. But you can do other things. You can go around it and apply compensating controls. There are things you can do. You don't just have to sit on your hands. We work in an industry of things that are made from nothing. I mean, computers are basically a made-up concept that were new 100 years ago. I mean, they're not even 100 years old, but still, they were not even a thing 100 years ago. And now we're just saying we can't do it. We made rocks think. And now we're just like, we can't do anything with these. But I'd say my favorite word is probably just when things are normal. My favorite word is normal.
Normal?
Yeah. It's like, it's normal. I'm like, thank God.
That's a good one. I love that one. Yeah. When it's just a normal day.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, looks like BSEC's going to have to drop. BSEC, I'll put you in highlight mode if you want to say goodbye to everybody.
Yeah, I'll see everybody Monday. Hopefully everything will be normal and I'll be able to be on stream Monday.
All right. Have a great weekend, BSEC, and continue to dig out of Hurricane Burl. Kimberly, favorite word, least favorite word in industry?
Let's see. Favorite word, I would say learning. I was going to say something like why, because it leads to learning. You know, we always ask why things happen, but the constant learning. And if that's a one-word answer there is what I love about cybersecurity. And then least favorite, I would say probably entry level, the hyphen in between. All of the talk around entry level positions, whether they exist, whether they don't, all the debates, all of that is gets to be a little bit repetitive, over time. So I'd say those are my two words there.
I love it. James McQuiggan, I'll send you a link on LinkedIn for you to hop in here. Jenny Housley, favorite word, least favorite word?
I would think my least favorite word would probably be oops. And then favorite word, my background's with CTFs and things like that. So it'd probably be more of a phrase of like, hey, look, there's flag.txt, because that means you've succeeded.
I love it. Let's pivot here. Jenny got a question from Swims with Sharks. It's a few minutes ago, but got recruited to GRC with no tech background. Nice job, Swims with Sharks. Can anyone recommend a path to learning the tech side to help GRC?
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to assume that you don't know any Linux, you don't know any Vim, you don't know any regular expressions. You're starting from a base level. And there is a website called the Taggart Institute. I believe the young man's name is Michael Taggart. And he has a ton of free courses. It starts off with Intro to the Linux command line. I've gone through that. It starts you off very beginner friendly and it works you through so you get comfortable with Linux. As I said, he has
I'm showing it on stream right now too, Jenny.
Okay, good. He has a VI. I'm old school. I call it VI, but I guess it's Vim now. He's got a
fight here
course.
in
He's
chat
got
on a Friday.
he's got a whole bunch of things. Just go check it out. Start there. And then I would recommend, after you get comfortable with things like that, start going through some of the paths on TryHackMe. They have a lot of free courses, free boxes, free rooms. You won't be able to complete the full path without getting a subscription, but you will get a majority of those under the free tier.
I love it. Thank you very much, Jenny. So we got another guest coming in, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to bring on to stream James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. Hi, James. How are you?
I'm doing well, Jerry. How are you?
Looking good. Sharp, crispy image. Looking tight. I love it. You ready to field some oh my God, look at this guy. Simply Cyber. McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. Special custom shirt. Ladies and gentlemen. Love it, love it, love it. Thanks, James. That's a really cool shirt. Look for that shirt at conferences. I'm sure it'll be what it is. We got some super chats coming in. Rex with actually 2 super chats. I missed one. To casually Joseph's point earlier, don't say I don't know. Say I'll find out. Thanks for the super chat, Rex.
Best friends. Yep.
And also Rex again with another super chat. Looking to hire Caterpillar, must have 5 years of experience as a butterfly. PhD in spider web design. James McQuiggan, you, Rex, and Carrie have like an ongoing battle for dad joke supremacy. Just so you know, you want to drop a dad joke on us while I find a question?
I went to. I've been to Italy several times over my travels, and one time I went and had a really expensive dinner. It cost me a penny, a pretty penny. There we go.
Oh my God. Okay. There we go. So Rex has got a question for James right out the gate. What's the most annoying acronym due to multiple uses? What's an acronym that, is just frustrating?
Oh, there's so many to list.
Oh, Jenny's got to go. I'm sorry. Bye, Jenny. Everybody say bye to Jenny. I'll just move her off stream then. Okay, go ahead, James.
Oh, I was going to say there's just so many that's out there. It was funny yesterday. I was reading somebody had written an article on LinkedIn and it was full of acronyms. And usually I can, go through and get them, but there were so many in there. I just took his entire article, dropped it into ChatGPT and said, define all the acronyms for me. And was able to go through and determine some of the ones I didn't even recognize. But I can't think of any off the top of my head. Sorry, but
okay, no problem.
I just know there's a bunch. I might get one that comes to mind.
I know it's tough being put on the spot. Really quick, James, since a lot of people know Kimberly and Joseph, and you've been in chat quite a bit. Can you just give like a 15-second who is James McQuiggan so people can understand and appreciate?
I'm a college professor, security awareness advocate at KnowBe4. I go around, I talk with people about cybersecurity, helping people make smarter security decisions every day. Been in the Simply Cyber community for a couple of years now, a year and a half. So met Jerry playing at DEF CON almost 2 years ago. And the first game of chess we ever played, he beat me. Since then, he hasn't won.
At Black Hat, James, it was Black Hat. We got to meet a couple days earlier than even DEF CON.
That's right.
We've got another panelist coming onto the stage. Many of you know him as Josh Mason. He goes by Josh Mason. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the campgrounds, Josh Mason. Hi, Josh.
Josh.
Are we on Starlink?
No, just campground Wi-Fi.
Oh, I love
Cool.
it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's good to see you, Josh. How you been?
Good to see you. I've been well. Been busy.
Awesome.
Sorry I've missed a lot of these.
That's okay. Yeah, you're always welcome in the community. So let's see. Let's get some questions. This is kind of a follow-up from Space Talkers around mentorship. Josh, I know mentorship's a big thing for you. Do you think a person should have like a single mentor, a panel of mentors? Like if someone's looking for mentorship, like what's a strategy or what's a norm that they should be thinking of?
So my suggestion, what's worked for me, go and find someone that you can learn from, that's willing to put time into you, that you enjoy talking to, and that you walk away learning something from. When you meet those people, it's somewhere between a friendship and like an instructor. You want to show up and participate like a friend. It's got to be a two-way street. Like you can't just show up and ask and ask and ask. But it should be someone that you want to continue to ask questions to. Jerry has been one of my mentors. There's been things along a lot of different lines that I bounced ideas off of him, and it's one of, I don't even think that we have like a formal mentor relationship, but to me, it's one that I feel like I gain things a lot of the time while participating in the team or just being a friend. And I think that there might be that among a lot of this group. And there's other mentors that I go to, or folks who I've known for a long time, like Neil. He will sometimes reach out to me and be like, "Hey, I saw your post. Like, let's have a chat. Like, how you feeling? Like, what do you feel like? Is this in line with your goals and stuff like that?" And that is like very mentor. Like, we have a very strong both friendship and mentor relationship where if he sees something, he's gonna like tell me about it. And there are times where I just call him up and I'm like, "Hey, I'm thinking about this. Like, I need wisdom. I need like thoughts that aren't my own right now." And we have that solidly. Start with one.
Yeah. All right. No, that's great. And I'll
yeah.
just say really quickly, as we finish this particular one, don't think of mentorships as like the traditional Jedi Knight and Padawan 1-to-1, and you have this like long-term relationship. It can be that, but you could also get mentorship just in time around, hey, I want to do a CFP for a conference talk. You've done a bunch of talks. Can you help me? Done and over. Right. And it's very organic. It's very fluid. So don't get, I feel like when I was coming up, I got wrapped around the axle that you had to have like one mentor and they were like the God mode. And like, that was everything. So definitely don't do that. Any other thoughts from the panel around mentors before I pivot to the next question?
Yeah, I have a really quick one. James, did you want to go first? I saw you
No, go
raise
on.
your hand. Okay.
Go on.
I would say get as many mentors as you can physically keep up with. One of your responsibilities as a mentee is to make sure that you're not just wasting their time, because their time is valuable as much as your time is valuable. You can't just take advice from them and show that you're doing nothing with it, or you can't just come with them with a generic problem. You have to really think about what you're expecting out of that person, and then be kind in relaying that it has helped or that you've done something with it.
Yeah,
Love
I'll
it,
just
James.
piggyback off of that and say, figure out what it is you want to gain more insight, more knowledge. Look at, whoever's downriver in their canoe and looking ahead. I know for me, some mentors are people that are 10, 15, 20 years older than I am, and I'm looking to see where they are and what speed bumps have they had, what issues have they had. Other times it's people that are, in similar age, but in more advanced positions with whatever interest that I have. But essentially start with what is it you want to get more info on, and then look for somebody that can help you with that. And exactly what Casually Joseph was saying, don't just be, the sponge. You want to be the sponge and suck up as much information, but it's a two-way street.
Love it. And upgrading Jeff, I've changed it. So now basically we all have our names below us now, but that if I put the Chiron on, it gets rid of it. So I'll flip-flop between the two of them. Kimberly, Wesley Gillis has a question, basically wanting to get a side hustle going. What are your thoughts around best practices to continue working, continue getting education, and side hustling? I know Kimberly personally can speak to this from experience.
Yes, so kind of doing a little bit of this myself right now, but if you're talking within cybersecurity and IT, you want to increase your income on the side while you're working in cybersecurity or IT already. Really, it's just something you have to be able to have, allot that time, Wesley, and really see like what you can fit in, where you can fit it in. Is that job full-time during the day? Are you willing to commit to, your nighttime being for your side hustles and for your education? So that's a lot. It's a lot. I think it's 100% a personal question to be able to really reflect and look at yourself and your family and say, is this something I can do and maintain? And do you have that support at home to be able to help you do that, right? Because that's really what it's going to be all about. I don't know if you have kids or not, if you have somebody to help you with that, if you have other responsibilities that may need to happen. So that's a big part. You can't focus on these other types of things that you want to do 100% and give your all without having that support at home too. And I know a lot of people here have said that same thing in their endeavors and what they do just in general, so just even being in this industry and working and having a role in cybersecurity is a big thing on its own. So when you add those other pieces to it, like wanting to have a side hustle in addition to that full-time job, also going to school, it's a lot. So just be careful not to burn yourself out, but make sure first that you have that support in place, or it's going to make it really hard to accomplish your goals there.
Okay, James, follow up.
Yeah, I flash back to my early 30s, and my parents would hustle me out as to all their friends to help them fix their computers. So I was using IT cybersecurity skills, going around. I was in my 30s. A lot of these people were in later in life, 60s, and couldn't figure out their computers. And I'd go around, and it was a trusted source. So for me, that was kind of a side hustle. Then it became photography, and now it's teaching at the university. So
I love it. So James, next question to you. Tony wants to know, are you too old to work in cyber after 50?
No, I know some people that are in their 70s still working. You work as long as you want to. If you're breaking into cyber at 50, it's all about passion and drive and networking and your knowledge. But no, you don't, I don't think you're too old to work in cyber. There are police officers that are in their 50s that are breaking in, being cops. So if the cops can do it, so can we in cyber. Like I said, drive, initiative, passion, and networking. Have all that and hopefully land you something, and off you go.
I love it. Next question's for Josh. Josh, this is particularly germane to you. Rex wants to know, do you prefer vacations that remove you from everything altogether, or ones that you're not? And I ask you because you're literally living a working
Josh
vacation.
I am. It depends. So we've had a few weeks where we've been completely out there. Jasper National Park in Canada. There's a sign. It says you will not have cell service for the next 260 miles or kilometers.
I would turn around. I'd be like, nope.
But there's glaciers and you can walk on them, and they say probably for only about the next 20 or 30 years. So if you want to do that without going all the way to Alaska or Greenland, then it's a place to be.
Or South Pole.
Yeah. But that's
actually, there's
really
no glaciers at the
difficult.
South Pole, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
Is there
Ice
cell
field.
service at the South Pole?
Oh. But it depends. There are weeks where it's great just to take time off, but also I'd get to a restaurant and I'd be like, "Did I have Wi-Fi?" And then all of a sudden I'd jump into Slack and it was my full-on vacation week. Everyone knew I'm gonna be out of touch. I can't be relied on. I'm on vacation, and there'd be times I'd jump in there and they'd be like, "Go the F away." you're on vacation. But my wife's also realized that I'm a workaholic and I enjoy it. It's my hobby. This stuff is what I enjoy doing. And she's like, if you don't do the thing you enjoy doing, that sucks. Sorry. So it all depends. Like if take time off when you need it, get away when you can. But if it's something big and long, like there was no way I was going to stop working for 4 months. Like no one's going to pay me for that. And I don't have money like that.
Yeah.
So,
there you go. There it is. Do what you love. And if it's disconnecting or not, then, you can do it. Next question is for Joseph. I feel like this is perfect for Joseph. Savvy says they're struggling. They've been in the SOC 2 years. Congratulations. That's something that a lot of people would love to be able to say. And they don't know where they want to go next. Blue, red, purple. And they didn't know a vendor to pick. Now, Joseph, you're kind of walking the same path right now. This is why I threw the question to you. What are your thoughts personally, and what would you tell Savvy?
Yeah, I'm in a very, very similar position. I just hit 2 years at Barricade and then 3 or 4 years overall in my IT journey. And it feels, it's very strange. You hit this position where you're like, well, now I have such a general knowledge. Where do I go? You have to, it's an internal reflection. You have to figure out what it is that you can do, A, the best, and B, that makes you happy. Because if you're just doing something because you're good at it, but you hate what you're doing, you're gonna hate it really, really quick. So what I would suggest is once you really pick something that interests you, and you don't have to stick with it. You can just be like, you know what? I'm interested in digital forensics. Why don't I go talk to Eric? Why don't I go talk to Capuano? What's also Eric? But why don't I go talk to these people who are big players in the field, get an idea of what their life is like, see if they have resources that they can suggest. Is this the lifestyle I want? I mean, if you spend a year or two working on something and you're like, I don't like it, why don't I try another path? You haven't wasted time. You can take that and now move on to something else. And that's pretty much what I'm doing. Right now, I'm like, I like reverse engineering. I like SOC work. I like forensics. I'm talking to these people who do it. I'm seeing what their life is like. I want to embody what they're doing and try and see, is this what I like? I'm 23. I might change my mind in 3 years and be like, I hate this. I want to go do red team. But I'm not wasting time.
I'm old enough to be your father, casually, Joseph. Oy vey.
Dude, there was a joke the other day, just for the community at large. There was a joke the other day. We were making in mod chat, we were making some joke that was like about the 80s or whatever, and it came out that I was born in 79. BSEC was born in 78, I think, and Joseph's mom was born in like 80 or 81. Like, so like I'm older than Joseph's mom.
I'm older than Joseph's mom, basically, too. Yeah.
So you say it out loud, it sounds terrible.
Yep.
No, but you're certainly on the right path there, Joe, with what you're thinking about. And yeah, I agree. You go talk to the people that do the jobs, go and have those conversations, see what it is, or just try it. I know for me, I was doing security awareness and loving it. And I had an opportunity to get back into doing compliance and a good leadership role. And I took it and I was there 3 days and I went, I've made a mistake. So I then spent the next 3 years looking to try and get back into security awareness. But, you won't know until you take the step, but yeah, have conversations with the people that do the jobs, try the cyber ranges if it's available, like for red team, blue team, purple. But just know you're going to do a lot of writing in any one of those jobs.
Oh yeah. There's no shortage of that. Communication's critical. Next question's for Kimberly and Louie, tag team. So if you guys didn't know, Kimberly, can you introduce Louie to the community?
Oh,
there he is. Look at this guy. All right. So Jeff S wants to know, what do you think is a good way to document for everyone, like, and employers, right? Standard blog, GitHub resources. What would don't even confine yourself to this. Like, what do you think good ways to do it? And those who don't know, because Kimberly doesn't mention it often, Kimberly is behind Cybersecurity Central, and she does it with some other people in the community, including Ms. Julian, James Driscoll, others. So she's doing these things. Which is why I wanted her to comment on this question.
Thank you. And a little behind because I am working on one for myself too. I bought a domain, but I have yet to prop it up. But I would say really any of these are all great that you're talking about, places to put them as far as GitHub. A standard blog like Medium is one that's pretty common as well. That does not have any cost to it. But domains nowadays are really inexpensive. So if you have the ability to pick up a domain, and you can even do a free website builder like Google Sites, which may have merged over now with Squarespace. But
I think Squarespace bought all of Google's domains.
But you're still able to do that and host a free site with it as long as you have the domain. So I saw somebody, I think, was it Chris Whitlock maybe, posted the other day, I think, on LinkedIn about it. So that would probably be my suggestion on it. It's something that you would own, you have full control over it. Nobody can take it down. Like, you can still use it to reshare through the social platforms. But again, it kind of all links back and draws back to your own personal site. But if you don't have the money, even like for a domain or something like that, then again, go freestyle. GitHub is great, especially if you're doing like technical, but you can put non-technical on there as well. Like I've seen people make their GitHubs into beautiful pages, that are very visually even stimulating to look at versus just the plain background. So really just choose what makes you comfortable, whatever your level is of comfortability with it, that you'll be able to go back to and want to go and update. Something that's not too bulky of a process for you. But a website would probably be my suggestion. And there's a lot of website builders. You don't need to know code. Gerald and I found one the other day called Card.io. It's CARRD.io. It's one where you pay a very minimal yearly fee. I think maybe like $20 or something like that. And they allow you the ability to host like unlimited sites. You have to still get the domains, but you're able to just make them really quickly on their websites. Within a few minutes, you can pop up a website and have it go live. So that's not what Cybersecurity Central is on, though. This is on Google Sites, really old school. And I plan this year to convert that into a newer, more modern looking site. So that's on my agenda.
And I probably shouldn't do this on stream, but like I was going to try to find the card here, the newsletter. So this is what the card website looks like. This is if you want to sign up for our newsletter. I'll drop a link in chat.
And that's a very plain one. We just did a landing page and kind of took the website. It was much longer where you could scroll down, so the templates were really nice in there. Just a lot of cool stuff to choose from. But we wanted them just to be like a landing page where you landed and didn't have to scroll. Just enter in your submit. But you could use it for whatever you want. They have portfolio templates and everything on there. So also, I will mention Canva does websites. I've tapped into it a little bit, but you can build websites in Canva and connect them to your domain as well. So,
thank you very much. That was a wonderful answer. Really quick, Vance Lopez is asking in chat if Casually Joseph has a website. Since we're here, let's go around the horn. If you have a website or a personal site or blog resource you'd like to share with the community, let's do that really quickly. That's a quick, easy around the horn. Joseph, you got a resource?
Not yet, but I am working on some things in the background, and I do post on LinkedIn from time to time. It's not very often, but as I graduated, you can actually see it's picking up pace, but no, not right now.
All right, James McQuiggan, personal projects or things?
I do have, like Joseph, I got LinkedIn, but I do have jamesmcquicken.com. So that is my site that I use for all things relating to cyber and teaching. So that's out there. It needs to be updated, but it's out there.
Yeah, I think James has a podcast too.
Oh, I have a podcast too. Yeah. The Security Masterminds podcast is out there as well. Interviewing the security masterminds monthly. So that comes out every month.
I'll let the community know that. Have I been on that show or no?
No, not yet, Jerry. And trust me, you are on the short list. But we will.
So I haven't quite graduated to mastermind level, but I'm working. We all have goals.
No. Here's the thing, Jerry. You are the kind of person that I can call on the phone and I could have you on the show tomorrow.
Yes,
so
that's true.
In the event that somebody dropped on me, you would be the person I would be calling. So
Oh, all right. I'm your safety.
you
school.
are my
I like it.
backup. You are my business continuity disaster recovery plan, sir.
Well, you know what? As a GRC professional through and through, I embrace that opportunity. Josh Mason, what are we? Are we going to joshmason.xxx or what? Like, what's your website?
Damn.
My OnlyFans. You can see pictures of my dogs. It doesn't have humans on it. But there's newvillage.org, cybersupply.drop.org. Those are still live. Frankly, they haven't had any improvements since Kimberly last touched them a couple years ago. masonsc.com for my consulting side. I've got a YouTube channel with a few things here and there. There is a Loops and Life Cycles out on ITSP Magazine, but that's on hiatus. And Jerry, we got to chat. There's also the Wanna Cyber podcast that I've recorded a couple episodes of that with Pete. The first one that I'm actually on that's coming out is next week. So yeah, I'm in a few places, and LinkedIn. Just also want to ask if you should blog on LinkedIn. I do, and it usually works pretty well.
Yep.
Working for me.
Yeah, I would definitely lean into LinkedIn. LinkedIn is such a great platform for professional relationships. I'm actually, like I've got to look at LinkedIn later today. I think I mentioned it on stream earlier. This is something that we'll see how it goes, but like LinkedIn basically they're very expensive if you like pay for LinkedIn for like the premium stuff. But I'm like low key wanting more people to find out about Simply Cyber. And I know that we share on socials, but I'm going to experiment and see if I can like get LinkedIn to tell people about the daily cyber threat brief. We'll see how it goes. TBD.
Well, I get a notification every day that pops up that says you're going live on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Some people get that. Some people don't. I don't know. LinkedIn's so weird. They kind of like flip flop. Hey, really quickly, I want everyone to know, I know there's 200 people here still. Love you guys hanging out. Thank you so very much for staying. I hope you've enjoyed the panel. If you did not receive the newsletter last Monday, check your spam folder. We switched back-end platforms. We went from ConvertKit to Beehive. If you don't care about that, that's fine. Just know that it's possible that the newsletter went into your spam folder. We had about 5,000 people that did not open the newsletter, and I suspect a good percentage of those went to their spam folder, not because people were like, I'm done with this email. So anyways, final around the horn, I have a 10 a.m. meeting with Gary Ruddle to talk about stuff that's super fun. But we'll go around the horn. This has been a great panel. Josh Mason, James McQuiggan, thanks for jumping in. Kimberly, good to see you. As always, Joseph, a regular on the Friday panels. It's been really, really excellent. Guys, any final thoughts? I'll go around the horn really quick. 30 seconds. James McQuiggan.
Yeah. Our HR processes have improved over at KnowBe4. There you go.
All right. Very, very funny. I love it. That's a joke from James. That's not even a dad joke, just a right on. I love it. Josh Mason, what do you got? 30 seconds.
For fear of putting other people in FOMO, if you're going to be in Vegas, hit up at least me and Jerry and James and the rest of the team. There are like almost 50 people signed up for this meetup already. I might have
for the Simply Cyber community meetup
to make the invitations even more because we still got 2 weeks. So yeah, we'll see you all there.
I love it.
Yep.
I love it. Kimberly, 30 seconds or really 15 seconds.
Yeah, no, just a team FOMO with Casually Joseph over here. You know, we're not jealous or anything about you guys being in Vegas and going to DEF CON and all that stuff. So we'll just be where we normally are, and you know where to find us. And we'll be following you on socials to, join in virtually.
Yeah,
so you guys have a great time.
I'll be blogging, or I'll be posting more than I normally would, just to.
Yes, seriously, take a lot of pictures. I'd love to see it all live through you guys. So it'll be fun to watch.
Yeah. Joseph, final thoughts, sir?
Yeah, improving your HR processes. Does that mean that you found my deepfake? I still need that paycheck.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you, Joseph. Appreciate that, especially the way that Barricade Cyber has been sponsoring members here at the squad. Every time Eric sponsors 100 members, casually Joseph shares the meme of the guy opening the empty wallet in mod check. That's regular. So funny.
Oh, show us your shirt really quickly, Joseph. Show everybody your shirt.
This is a Barricade Cyber shirt.
You guys see that?
Oh my God, I love it.
Great,
It's inverted right now, but it's
Yeah,
good.
it's good.
Well,
Microsoft RDP, Remote Desktop Protocol, aka
Ransomware desktop protocol.
Ransomware Deployment Protocol. Yeah. I
Oh
love
yeah,
it.
my bad. Sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. All right, guys. Hey, chat. Thank you so very much. If your questions didn't get answered, please come back Monday. We're doing the AMAs every single weekday morning after the daily cyber threat briefing. I genuinely sincere gratitude and appreciation to the panelists who are coming on today, and BSEC and Jenny, who were here earlier. Guys, be good. Keep crushing it. We'll see you out there. And until next time, stay secure.